Ben, just give me your immediate reaction to Chris Billam-Smith losing tonight, second defeat of his career.
Immediate reaction was, what a fight. Two warriors. And I thought Chris started very well, looked strong. And then Zerdo found his rhythm. And he moves like a middleweight still, even at cruiserweight. And he's tough and he hits hard. But Chris just kept coming. And there were pockets of every round that he found. And he come back. And he's just such a warrior. And every time he fights, you come away just feeling proud to even be associated him, inspired by him, and that's the same outside of the ring as inside of the ring. And I think dared to be great tonight, already become world champion, already defended it, already achieved so much, but an inspirational person. And I couldn't be prouder of him. He just kept coming, gave us an absolutely great fight, and him and his family should be very, very proud.
Were you shocked or surprised by how good Ramirez was?
Look, I feared it. When I saw him come up against Gilberto, and Gilberto hits like a truck, and he dealt with him and was able to take punishment and was able to outclass him. You fear. Sometimes you think, okay, Austin was out for 2 years, but no, he's an established cruiserweight, and there's a reason he's here, and he looks comfortable at the weight. And as I said, Chris would be disappointed at times. He broke his rib in the 4th round, which made things very uncomfortable for him.
Who did, sorry?
Chris.
Chris broke his rib in the 4th round?
Yeah, and that made things very, very uncomfortable for him. But he's a warrior, and he just kept coming. And Zerdo's rib him and was picking shots at times, but Chris was eating shots and coming back. And he did that throughout, and even in the 12th round, it was a phenomenal round. And to do that with the energy and the injuries he picked up was incredible. Zerdo deserves a lot of credit because he wanted to fight as well. But he's a top quality fighter, and Chris came up short tonight. He'll be disappointed. We're all disappointed for him. He'll be gutted. But when I think back and look at the journey he's taken us on, it's been something very, very special.
Did you ever think that Shane McGuigan might have a decision to make in there tonight with the amount of punishment he was taking, the cut? Did you ever think that Shane could potentially pull him out of there?
There was a moment I thought maybe 6th or 7th, but then he found a new wave and a new energy and a second wind, and that's what Chris Billam-Smith does. And then when he's coming on in the 12th round, I'm thinking, I wish he could go for 15, selfishly. But he's just a phenomenal man, and Shane knows him better than anyone. I mean, Chris Billam-Smith, when I first met him, I think he couldn't get to Bournemouth. He couldn't even dream of a world title at that stage. And I've seen him change his life. I've seen him change his family's life. I've seen him come through so many milestones. And the best thing about it, he's not changed at all. He's still exactly the same Chris Billam-Smith that I met 2-3 years ago. And he's changed his life in that time. And that's the measure of the man. He really is. I can't speak highly enough of him. There's not really a person in boxing that I think you can look up to more, and he should give a lot of motivation to every professional boxer that with hard work, with consistency, as he says, and doing all the right things, you can get to the very top. And who would have thought out of the cruiserweight class he was the one to go the furthest, and he deserves a huge amount of credit.
And what do you think comes next for Chris Billam-Smith? Obviously 34 years of age now. When I spoke to Shane McGuigan in the build-up to this fight, he said he didn't want to have to go through many more of these camps because he's his mate as much as he is, and he wants him to be able to retire, enjoy his money, with his brain still intact. Do you think that there still could, still be more on the horizon for CBS?
I think he's still got a lot to offer to the sport. I think he can enjoy it now. He's in the sense he's achieved more than anyone could dream of. He's done the stadium fights. When you put on those gloves, he's gone to his hometown. He's become world champion. He's beat everyone domestically. He's come away. He's been in the big unification world title fights like tonight. He's done everything. So if he continues, I hope he can continue and enjoy it. But it is a cruel sport. It is a brutal sport. But I think just because someone has a one loss, it doesn't mean that the writings on the wall is lost at the very, very, very highest level tonight. And will be disappointed, as I say, things didn't go his way. But I think he needs a rest, and that's the most important thing. After the 2 years of brutal fight after brutal fight and coming through, he needs a rest now, and hopefully he can enjoy Christmas knowing that he's changed his family's life.
From the point of view of a boxing fan, Gilberto Ramirez against Ajay Pataya, is that something that you think would be one hell of a fight, wouldn't it? That's what I think.
Incredible fight. I'd love to see that fight. Special fight. And I'm sure His Excellency would love to see that fight as well. And yeah, for me as a boxing fan, best fight that you can make in the cruiserweight division. I really, when you stand back and you watch Gilberto Ramirez fight, I enjoy watching him fight. There's not many cruiserweights that can move like that. And Jai Opetaia, very different, very, very powerful, very ruthless. It'll be a great fight. I think Zerdo's shown that he can take a lot of punishment at this weight, and that was a question mark when he moved up. But he's a big guy.
Was there any discussion about potentially Ramirez carrying an injury going into this fight? Was that something you were aware of at all?
No.
No worries. Cheers, Ben. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it.